someone get a Kleenex. Spice said that it's gonna be me.
What's up, viewers? It's your boy, Julio. Give me that fire content. Once again, I'm representing BayAreaCompass, and I'm with my girl, Anjali.
Hello.
That's a very great project out right now. I love the project. Beautiful voice. I'm also with my boy, Shmed, right now.
How y'all
You see me
doing?
there,
Shmed Shots on Instagram.
So, have you always known you had such a great voice? What made you want to put all that emotion and soul into the music?
Oof. I started singing at a very young age. My mom used to work in the city, and so on weekdays she'd stay there. And I think it started very sad. I used to write about how I miss her, and it was real corny because I was 5, I think. But I don't think anybody really knew I was writing until my parents found my little chicken scratch notebooks. Mm-hmm. And then I finally told my dad I want to be a singer when I was 9, and he said no, because this industry is a wrecking ball and it kills anything in its way. But yeah, so after that I convinced him by showing him another piece of chicken scratch, and since then he's kind of guided me and took me under his wing, and so now I just turned 20 and I just released this album.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
What was some of the you want to say something?
What were some of your main inspiration going towards the album, since you've been doing this for so long? How did you come to yourself to say, hey, I wanna make my first debut album?
I had a lot of different musical inspirations. I grew up with every genre of music in my household. We had every single one. But after I got in a really bad car accident last June, and after that car accident and through recovery, it became a lot. I'm all good now, but it was a long road, and before that I was just about to release my debut album, and after that happened to me, and they told me I might never sing again, and so going through that personally, that inspired a lot of this album more than anything else. That hardship, and then seeing my friends and family in this huge slump was something I needed to get them out of, and so yeah, that was my biggest influence for this album, and it's hard to put that one into words because it was more of a feeling.
Yeah. It's your comeback album.
Yeah, in a way, and I've always been a person that likes making people smile, making people happy, and so that's why this album is not sad to me, at least. I don't think any of the songs are sad. It's very, if anything, sentimental. But I tried to keep it very upbeat and very positive, and that's just my nature.
I feel the positive energy.
It's a jazzy up tempo,
it really is.
I like to bring a little groove,
How much of influence in the production of the beats did you have? Did you have one producer, two producers? Did you do it yourself?
So me and my father co-produced the entire album.
Oh wow!
And it became really it was us alongside everybody else, and so we had so many heads come into this, and
real instruments used.
Yes, we have live sax, we have live drums. It was a really fun process. It definitely took a while. We had a couple keyboard players, but yeah.
What does your dad do, if you don't mind me asking?
So my dad is kind of an everything man. He's Rain Man. He does everything. He doesn't like to say. He's standing in the corner over there.
Oh, that's your dad? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I thought it was a manager or something.
No. That's my dad. That's partner in crime right there. But he kind of does everything. When he was my age, he was a music producer and popping off on charts around the Bay Area, and so he's a real Bay Area native too. And but he was doing more EDM, and then he worked with a rap group. And now he's dealing with my pop ass. So, yeah.
But I mean, you have such a crazy.
His birth.
Yeah. So so I know you were talking about some your inspirations and the car accident and everything. Mm-hmm. When I see you, you seem like such a subtle person, but then I hear the music, and it just seems like that comes from
I'm like this on first
impressions.
First
but
impressions.
You're more outgoing.
Yeah, I'm a very outgoing person. He's known me for a while, so Medi can judge me on that. I'm a very outgoing person. I'm very friendly.
Subtle, and it's just a big.
And then I just pop off. Yeah, okay. I'm a very energetic person, and definitely it comes out a lot more on stage than it does in interviews. And so people always kind of ask, you seem really calm and laid back. I'm not.
No, I'm not a fan. If you only knew.
Right time, right place.
Exactly. We pick our moments, you know. But it's an important skill to have.
Yeah. So what are some of the stages you've performed on?
I have performed on Carnival in San Francisco. I have performed at the Shoreline Amphitheater. It was a side stage, not on the actual one, but the actual one soon. You know.
That's still something.
Hey, yeah. I'm totally blanking right now. But I've really all around the city. I've performed at the Mancini Bowl in Modesto. I
What's the first place you performed?
The first place I ever performed, I lost a bet. And this is how I started performing in general. In 8th grade, I lost a bet to one of my friends because like my very, very close friends knew I could kind of sing. And so I don't remember what the bet was on. It was something very dumb, but I lost very quickly, and so I had to go try out. And my favorite song to sing at the time was "Girl on Fire" by Alicia Keys. And I really didn't think that I was even going to get into the show, so I wasn't really stressing on anything, right? And then, I didn't even go, when they put the results up of this audition, I didn't even go and look at the results, because I was like, nah, like, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to get in. And I was at lunch, my friends, like, run up to me, and they're like, AJ, like, or Anjali, you're going to be the first person to go up. And I was like, huh? And they're like, yeah, like, you're performing at the Winter Talent Show. And that was like, my heart dropped. I was terrified. And then I finally went up, and I did it. And during dress rehearsal, they moved me to the last act instead of the first. And so when I finally went up, I was so nervous. I was shaking, could barely hold the mic. And then I sang, and immediately after the auditorium like goes crazy, and everybody like runs down from the bleachers because the talent show's over. And then they take me backstage, and I had an anxiety attack, and I went to the nurse's office, and then I got out of school early because I was terrified, and I was I was so scared. My brain could not comprehend what just happened. But like since then to this day, my entire middle school still knows me as Little Alicia Keys. So that is how I started performing. That was my first stage, and I think it was 1,500 people. I don't know. We had a really big middle school. I don't know how big Canyon was.
Canyon was huge, for sure.
1,500. That's more than my high school.
We had two middle schools, and the high school was 3,000. So I'm cutting it in half.
High is 3,000.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, and that video of the video of me performing that is on YouTube, and yeah, you can, if you know like notes and stuff, you can kind of tell I'm shaking. Like,
Have you thought of I don't know if you've been in any like American Idol or like anything like shows like that?
I tried out for The Voice. Okay. And I did not end up going through with it because one of the producers told me that I tried out with the song At Last by Etta James, which is a classic. Like, that's, if you were a singer, like, that is not an easy song to do. Right. And the producer kept me back from the auditions, and she goes, you're a great singer, but, nobody wants to hear, I was 16 at the time, so she goes, nobody wants to hear a 16-year-old singing Etta James. Like, we need something newer. And so immediately I was kind of like, okay, like, just listening to it, right? And so I pulled out Alicia Keys because that was just my go-to at that point, because I'm a sophomore in high school at this point. And I sang Alicia Keys. She goes, no, that's still too old. And I was kind of confused because...
That's like, that's 2005.
Yeah, no, well, not even that. I think I sang Empire State of Mind, which was later.
2011.
Yeah, so it was a confusing minute for me, and we left, and immediately I looked to my dad, and I was like, I don't want to be part of this. And we had already read the contract, and the contracts on any of those shows are crazy. Like, they be tying you up. So yeah, I tell everybody I know, because I'm
really?
very...
How do they tie you up?
They tie up your name. So like they and then like if you end up getting aired, they can kick you off whenever. It's different and it varies for each show. Yeah. But it's more of a reality show than it is a game show, and so it's
not
like,
really like people get to actually vote who's the best talent. It's kind of like political.
Not from what I saw, not from the contract and what it led to, but they got to make their money somehow. I'm just proud that I left at the time I did, and that they didn't make their money off me, because I'm good.
At least you got that experience out the way. So.
Right. Yeah, if I could give anybody advice, like especially like Bay Area artists and stuff, like when I talk to them, like, don't go for those shows, because I think it's better to do it by yourself, but hey, to each their own.
So speaking of Bay Area artists, you being a female Bay Area artist, and you know, performing around the Bay Area, I'm assuming, you know, what are some of the complications you've had performing, or like what are some of the situations you've gone through that, you know, you could say you've struggled with?
As a female specifically?
Or just as an artist in general? Just some things that you feel like...
I think it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, as an artist, like, you get roughed around a lot, especially as a female in this industry, and you kind of have to be, like, a very...
Strong?
Hands-on. Yeah, you cannot be
like,
passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Nah. You kind of have to stand your ground and grit your teeth at people, and that's hard to do, especially because... Personally, I'm a very outgoing person. I'm very nice. I'm very friendly, and I'm very smiley. And you know, I also never mean for that to be taken the wrong way. And so that's something I deal with a lot, and definitely gets on my nerves very easily. And I'm not a soft-spoken person about it. But other than that, really, just as an artist in the Bay, it's that everybody from the Bay Area will tell you that they support everybody from the Bay Area, and that is the most BS thing I've ever heard. Like, people here do not support each other until they're up. Like, until they got more clout than you, they don't like you. And that's something, like, I've experienced so much, and people don't do it to my face as much because, like I said, I'm pretty nice, I'm pretty friendly, so I'm cool with everybody. But it's definitely real. I definitely see it with the other artists I work with. Like, they don't get love because they're not up yet, and as soon as they're up, everybody's just at their feet. So, yeah.
That's a good answer.
A lot of Bay artists do not like showing because they don't want to see someone else do good. But
right.
It's like, if everyone just keeps supporting each other and just keep going up, like nothing will go wrong with that. But just people got that ego to where they just feel like
they just want to see other people succeed.
Yeah, if they support someone else, like they're not gonna be as they're not gonna do it as good. But
right. I think if you bring
what goes around comes around, you know.
Yeah, so I think if you bring everybody up with you, it's not. Like, I mean, obviously, don't bring the people that are bringing you down, but it's like if they're working as hard as you, like, you bring it up, you're bringing your entire community up. And I think that's something all of us individually want to do, regardless of who you're working with, regardless of your clout. Like, it doesn't matter. We all want to bring this part up, especially with everything going on in the Bay Area with gentrification and what's happening to Oakland and the city and the Mission. Like, there's so much going on, and we want to keep this culture here so badly, but how do we do that if we're all divided?
Keep Oakland ungentrified.
Exactly. Keep the Bay Area ungentrified. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, Bay Area
kicking all of us out.
Especially Oakland, the root.
Right. Man. It's getting wild out there.
I hear you on that, most definitely. So, what's one of your favorite songs off the album?
Ooh.
That's a cold switch up for you.
That is always such a hard question to answer. I get it a lot, and you'd think I'd have one by now. Get in Line, which is track 2, is my favorite to perform just because it always gets everybody jumping. Like, I love that, and like, I'm Bay Area kid at heart. I love the hyphy movement, and like, especially as a female, it was really nerve-wracking to release that because I just felt like everybody was gonna hate on me and be like, "Oh, she's trying to rap." I don't want to rap at all, but that song is so much fun to perform. I was like, "No, put it on! Like, we have to do it." I think you guys got the biggest following on Twitter.
That's just crazy.
Specifically, like, you know, like
I didn't get a Twitter.
That is the platform y'all need to be using. Yeah, because like it was all links, but I was tripping. I was like, like. Apparently, I follow you guys, and I've had my Twitter since I was 13, 12. I was I should not have been on Twitter. Let's put it that way.
Damn.
But I followed y'all at some point, but I didn't even know. And when Medi asked me to be on here, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, shit, that place, I think I followed like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
That place? Still a thing?
And
would you consider yourself a singer? Because I know you had some rap lyrics in there. That could have just been like you fluctuating your voice.
I'm gonna keep it lit. Right. I tell everybody I'm a singer, songwriter still, mostly because I just don't want the stigmatism that comes with female rappers.
Yeah,
like,
you don't feel like you have to be stuck being a Cardi B or like a...
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like you asked me earlier what it's like to be like a female artist in the Bay, and that's one of the things is like everybody assumes that you're trying to be a rapper, and like singers are placed in a pot, and rappers are placed in a pot, and there's nothing in between, especially for a female, and so it's like you're either, Keisha Cole or you're Sweetie, and it's like I'm definitely somewhere lost in the mix between that. Right. And so I don't really know how to define myself because I'm just me to me, and like I don't, and so I definitely feel like I've brought something that hasn't been here, at least from a female mind, from a female aspect, to the Bay, and I definitely haven't seen it so far, and I'm excited to bring that to the world, and that I feel like that's where my avenue is.
You're bringing something unique to the table, but something that's still, genuine and from the Bay.
Yeah. My favorite thing to say is honestly just I'm an artist. I don't, because I feel like
it's the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it hits everything, and I just like to make people dance.
So you have any projects coming up that we can look forward to?
I have a couple, none are officially released yet, just because we're promoting the album, of course, and I want to make sure this gets out as much as possible. But I will be working with a couple different. I'm working on a couple different features right now. Or not even features, just collaborations, and they're pretty out there as far as location goes. They're not really Bay Area artists. I think there's only like 2 Bay Area artists in those, just because there's not a lot of. That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of love here, especially when you're first coming up. And for me, it's like this is the very beginning of this journey for me, and so I'm not getting the love that I wish I was. And so it's been a lot easier to connect with people and creatives outside the Bay. But definitely will be hearing from me throughout the summer. Right. And I'll definitely have a project out by the end of the summer once again.
Sweet. Have you done any music videos? Or?
Yes, I had a music video come out right before the album. It's called Voicemail. It was supposed to be like the single of the album. I was so excited, and then we could not get the sample cleared in time. And so it broke my heart, but it is still up on YouTube, and so yeah, that's still one of my favorite songs. So I love that song. It's called Voicemail. But other than that, I have a music video for the song Good Life coming out soon. And then I should have at least 3 throughout the summer. So we'll leave those to be determined.
All right.
Where'd the sample come from?
I'm sorry?
Where'd the sample come from?
It is an Al Green song. I'm totally blanking on it right now. Do you remember the name?
Stay Together?
Mm-mm. Oh, Call Me. What am I saying? It literally says it. It's called Call Me by Al Green. Yeah, it's the first song on one of his albums. But I love that song. But it's really just in the beginning, and the rest of the song is original. And yeah, but I don't want to disrespect nobody, especially not Al Green. And so we just kept it off.
Apparently, it was a mega hit.
It was a mega hit?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
From the 70s.
Back in the day.
So you couldn't get it cleared?
Yeah, it's too much.
Maybe it's for the best. Maybe that shit would have become like a big hit, and then you would have had to pay Al Green a hell of a lot of money.
Right. Yeah. And
I
want the day I have the budget for it, I would love to clear it, because I really love that song. So, I think of it from their perspective of, what, Drake just released one of his first, EPs, a month ago, and, everybody was still just as excited, and so I'll be able to do the same thing, because I had an EP before this when I was 16. It's called Head in the Clouds, and it's still only available on SoundCloud, because there were so many samples in it, but it was when I was first starting, and there were a bunch of beats off YouTube, so.
Some gems.
Some hidden gems.
What's your ethnicity?
Yeah.
I am Indo-Fijian and Mexican, and not a lot of people know what Indo-Fijian is. It's
from Fiji.
Kinda. The British took. The British took Indians, Native Indians, to Fiji as kind of indentured servants, I guess is the best way to describe that. And they took them to work on their sugarcane fields, and so that was my family. And so
it was a loophole.
We're immigrants of immigrants. It's
it was a loophole they came up with when they slavery.
And then my mom's just Mexican.
So
my dad is from Fiji. Both my grandparents are from Fiji, but it's long line, and back in the line, I'm definitely Indian descent, and I don't ever want to claim something I'm not part of, and so I'm Indo-Fijian and Mexican. I'll leave it at that.
I'm African. I don't know what
I'm black, man.
On my way here.
At least that's what the government told me.
I don't know.
That's the bubble I circle on my SAT.
I don't even have a bubble. They don't.
Have a bubble?
I've never understood that.
You have the other one.
No, because you're only allowed to bubble one, and so it's like I gotta
the other and the blank, or they just have the other.
They only have that on certain ones, and it's like the tests that don't actually matter. They don't count them, but actual tests, they tell you gotta pick one, and then there's are you Latino or Hispanic, and then if you press yes, you can't click anything else.
Dang.
Which doesn't make sense to me.
The new Donald Trump thing, huh?
No, that's been around. I don't know when they're going to change
like
that.
Since every test, though.
Yeah.
Since it was little, bro.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Maybe it's because it ruins statistics. Like, how do you count that? Like,
that
do I become half of a person? Like,
Yeah.
in bar graphs? Like. My name is Anjali Asha. Thank you guys so much for listening. My new album, Chingona, is available on all platforms, and my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook are all ANJALIASHA_. Again, that's ANJALIASHA_. And it's at AnjaliAsha.com.
Make sure you guys check out her music. I appreciate you joining our platform.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Awesome.